no matter what you say about restored cars, there's really something about driving a low original mile car. And this thing right now shows 48,068 miles. And that's been verified because it's now in the hands of the second owner, and the first family's been able to verify that.
That's cool.
And the feel is just completely different than what you get out of a restored car, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah. Yeah, like I said, they feel different, they drive a little different, and you kind of know, it's one of those things in your head. You're going, this car's original, This is the way this car left the showroom.
This is the way it felt when in 1970.
Yeah.
And there is really, I love all makes. I'm an all makes guy. I've had a bunch of Mopars, Fords. There is something about looking out over the hood tack that is really an indescribable feeling, especially with the bulged hood of the GTO.
Yeah. You got the two scoops up there. You got the tack. You're looking out the mirror and you see the wing. You're just going, oh, this thing's really cool.
Oh, everything about it's cool. This actually belongs to our friend Brian. He wasn't able to make it out to drive the car today, but he was nice enough to throw us the keys and let us have fun with it. And this is the greatest day at work I can imagine. How about you?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it can't get much better than that. We're in a 1970 GTO.
Yeah, I'll tell you, if this is the daily grind, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I'm there.
And we're out on 2-lane roads. It's just stunningly gorgeous here in Reno, Nevada today. I can't even imagine. I'm still trying to get used to the throttle on this car. It's a little different than how my car feels, but it's everything you'd expect out of basically a stock 400 Pontiac. Lots of torque, plenty of get up. It still has pretty much the original, I believe the carburetor's been rebuilt, but other than that, the motor's never been opened on this car.
Wow.
And the Turbo 400 shifts just like it's brand new. It's just I would be happy to get in this car and take it on the Hot Rod Power Tour. It's that kind of a car. It's a highway car.
Yeah.
It's really that sort of a vehicle. But Gary, you've had a bunch of these GMA bodies.
Oh yeah. I've had, obviously Pontiacs, and I've had Buicks and Oldsmobiles. GS's and 442s. They're great cars. It's one of those kind of cars that, it'll do a little bit of everything. They're a little bit bigger, obviously, than a Camaro or a Nova. The 4-link type rear suspension on these works really well. They have a little more solid feel to them than, say, a Camaro or a Nova. With the way the subframes are in that, you can always kind of feel those a little bit. At least I can. These cars, it's a little bit larger, a little longer wheelbase, so they ride a little better. You get this car in the freeway and they ride really nice. These were a combination of both luxury and performance. This was not considered, an economy car like a Nova was.
Oh, no doubt about it. And you see on the window sticker, this was $4,600.
Yeah, it was a lot of money in 1970.
It was a big, but it was designed to be that kind of a car.
Yeah.
And the current owner, has added a couple of things. And how would you say, disclaimer, the hood tack has been added and the judge wing has been added. But it really, they were tasteful additions.
But they were options, so you could have gotten them anyway.
Exactly. And the thing is, he uses the car, he drives it, and that's what this is all about. It's using and driving your car. So it's really neat to see. I meet Brian every Sunday for breakfast at Sierra Gold, and if there's no snow on the ground, this GTO is in the parking lot. He drives it all the time. this. I mean, we're driving with the air conditioning on.
Yeah, that makes it even neater.
Yeah, I mean, it's so comfortable. Of course, I wasn't smart enough to take my sweatshirt off, so no wonder we need the AC.
Yeah.
But these are the kind of days that you just love to get out and drive your car. And it's this kind of car that makes you want to.
Yeah. If you had this car, you'd want to drive it every day. And it's docile enough. This is one of those cars that I think was bought to be, this wasn't a race car. This was something that somebody bought to be a luxury type of cruiser.
Oh, it's without a doubt, it's very much a gentleman's car is what it is. I could definitely get used to this. And as you look at the landscape around us, it's just these back roads were made for this kind of driving.
Oh yeah, you could do this all day long, and it would never get old. It's just one of those.
I mean, I don't even want to give the keys back to Brian.
Yeah, we just want to keep driving it.
Exactly.
You keep my truck, I'm driving away.
Exactly. And I don't know, do you remember the last car he had, that black 63 Grand Prix with the tri-powered 389
yes.
in the 8 lugs?
Yeah.
It was a beautiful car, but it was definitely worth, as he said, he just got tired of the car after 16 years and was ready for something different. So
well, he got a heck of a car in this.
Yeah, and honestly, the addition of the 69 style judge stripe on it
looks
really
good.
breaks up.
It does.
But I love the car the way it was before too, and for two reasons actually. One, I like the gold on the outside. It's just a color you don't see at car shows every day. And I really like this interior. I don't know if you'd call it brown or saddle tan.
Yeah.
But it's just a stunning combination.
Yeah, medium brownish color. It's very nice. A thing I always liked about the GTOs that's cool is if you saw it in any of the shots, the engine turned aluminum on that. It is just so cool looking, and the Firebirds have it, some of them, and obviously the GTOs have it. It was just one of those things that Pontiac did that was always really neat,
Yeah, Pontiac really put a lot of thought into their interiors, even the stitching patterns in the seats, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. I've never owned a GTO before. The closest I came was a 68 Le Mans, which I love that car just as much as a GTO.
No, it's still nice car.
Oh, it was a great car. My ex-wife and I drove that car daily for almost a year. Drove it all over the place. I took it on long road trips, and it was perfectly comfortable. And this, I feel like I'm home again when I'm sitting in this.
Yeah. Same kind of dash, same feel.
Very similar suspension feel.
Well, that's the thing with these A bodies, like we were saying. They ride really nice. You can make them handle great. You can make them hook up for drag racing really well too. But they're just an excellent all-around suspension. I mean, you feel this car. This car feels no different probably than it did the day it left the showroom.
I bet not.
I mean, that's a testament to the amount of engineering that went into these. And we've talked about that before, and how good these cars ride and drive. And this car, being 45 years old, it's amazing how this thing drives and feels.
I think we're getting a real feel for, I would say this is the extreme end of the Survivor car.
Yeah, probably.
We're getting a real feel for it. And it's always, for me, it's a joy to get into one of these, especially an A-body like this, because like we said, they ride so wonderful. And I spent so many years riding in Mopars, and I love the way they ride, but it's a very different ride.
Yes.
It's a much firmer ride with, say, a set of super stock springs on the back and oversized torsion bars. They handle wonderful, but it's a very different feel than you get out of an A-body. You get a very luxurious ride out of this car.
Yeah.
And I just don't think we could have found a better day.
Or a better car.
No.
Like we said, this there's something about a GTO. It's the original muscle car, and it's these year styling to me, 68 to 70 are really neat. When they went to that kind of peaked hood and the whole bumper and the peaked front end and the plastic front end, I like the look. 68 and 69s are neat. 70 being obviously unique to itself with that styling. It's just a wonderful car. They're just so neat, and they're unique to A bodies. They look a lot different than every other A body car does.
Well,
in those same 3-year period.
Absolutely, and really, when muscle car and iconic, when those two words are used in the same sentence, GTO obviously pops into mind.
Well, it's the grandfather. It's, you know, it's the one that started it. So it has a certain appeal to everybody because of that. It is the originator. Everybody else technically is a copy. I mean, they all went along for the ride. You know, no pun intended there, but they did.
And that's the beautiful thing that came out of the Pontiac GTO, is that we got all these other wonderful iconic muscle cars as well. I mean, this is a win for everybody.
Yeah. You know, it was a great idea, and these cars, you know, they're so popular, and it's one of the things in the show. You know, it's not the only thing by any means that we look at, but it's one of our favorites.
Thanks for joining us again here on Wheels in Motion, and as said before, just email wheels in the letter N motion 2017 at gmail.com if you're in the Northern Nevada or Northern California area and would like to get your car featured. Get a hold of us, and we want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Have a good one. What did we say the last time?
I don't know.
One thing and something else, isn't it?
I don't remember.
Yeah. All right. Want to go to Wings or BJ's?
Let's go to Wings. Oh, you know what? Let's go to BJ's. I haven't been in there in a long time. What the?